check out what we found on the Tilta booth. LensVid coverage of IBC 2023 is brought to you by Ulanzi Video Accessories, Small Rig, Big Dreams, Jiyun, Make It Real, and Godox, Embrace Creative Possibilities. Hi, we're at IBC 2023 and we're at the Tilta booth and we're talking to Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and what do you have to show us here?
So today we're looking at the Nucleus Nano II, which is a brand new wireless lens control system. There are a lot of updates with this compared to the previous unit. However, the main ones, as you can see just by looking, is this 1.6-inch circular touchscreen, as well as some pretty advanced features such as camera control and custom lens mapping. Sorry, get to right there. So this isn't set just at the moment. We are just now starting to ship these, and there are some firmware updates rolling through. However, the kind of main feature people are excited about is the ability to map custom lenses and load that information immediately without needing to calibrate each lens individually. The other big update is that we now can control up to 2 motors with the hand wheel itself. So you can see I have the main dial set to focus, and then I also have a zoom rocker on that dial, which is controlling our iris. And then when connected to this control handle, you have an additional wheel, which is actually set to our VND. It's kind of hard to see, but on the Tilta Mirage, if you check out that monitor, you can see we're actually pulling VND. And then there's a fourth option. This can either control DJI Ronin RS3 Pro, or it can actually be assigned to a motor. So here we have this on zoom, and it gives you a nice dampened kind of, ability to ease in and then kind of quickly adjust speed without needing to adjust manual settings. So lots of features in here. However, the big kind of selling point is we're starting this same price of $299 for the single hand wheel and 1 motor. And then we're going to be selling kits, with multiple motors, additional hand wheel, new internal battery inside. Motors are 5 times as strong, much more comparable to Nucleus M, USB-C, a lot of updates, a lot of things to talk about.
So basically, I think we talked about it just before the interview. I think the big thing from our perspective, aside from everything I just said, is really the batteries. Because for us, the original version, which we used, basically the main issue with it is that we always had to find a power source for at least the motor. And now you have built-in battery inside. For how long will it work? I mean, obviously it depends on the lens and how much you operate it, but how would you rate it? I mean, probably has some like 2 hours or 3 hours or...
So the battery does refer to the hand wheel as an internal battery. The motors themselves will still need a power source. We did, however, change that to USB-C, which makes it easier to power as opposed to needing micro USB previously.
Oh, so they do need...
Yeah, so
why wasn't it possible to do like a battery inside the motor?
Just for size, for keeping the motors small enough.
Why is that important? I mean, if they're working on, maybe on a gimbal, it makes sense. But if you're having like a setup like this, maybe it will make sense to have like a bigger motor that will have the internal battery inside. And here, size doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, so with this lens specifically, because this is now multi-channel, one of the issues that some people sometimes run into when using batteries that are either mounted to the motor physically or larger motors is that it's harder to get motors side by side on lenses with gear rings closer together.
But if they're longer, then that shouldn't be an issue, especially on a tripod like this.
Again, could be possible, but because Nano is kind of focused on
a small, yeah, I get it.
They wanted to make the motors as small and as powerful as possible, and for that reason, they updated the internal battery in here to make it a bit easier. This will run for up to 20 hours on standby. Normal use is closer to like 7 or 8, but it does have USB-C for PD fast charging, and as you can see, we have some convenient contact pins on the back, which this handle runs.
It has its own
batteries, and then this is going to snap in place and then allow you.
And the handle itself also charges via USB, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the handle, as you told me before, is not ready yet, but it should be ready fairly soon.
Yeah, most likely the end of the year. We're estimating around October for the first, units to start shipping, but that normally means that it'll take a couple months for them to kind of be readily available. Okay, there should be a few different options. This one would be the control option, meaning it has that gimbal and focus control.
We didn't talk about control. Actually, that's a big feature. You can actually control some brands of cameras, some specific cameras from this unit, start and stop, and with specific cameras you can also do, like, maybe you can show it. We have, like, you can change the aperture ISO and some other basic features.
Yes, that is correct. So we have a list on our website under the product description for the Nano 2 of what is currently compatible, mostly Sony and Blackmagic at the moment. So this is a setup on the V-Raptor, which is not currently established with the firmware, but we are adding new cameras every week or so. And yeah, through either USB-C, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth, you are going to be able to change settings like aperture for any electronically controlled lenses, ISO, shutter speed, white balance, all the way up to resolution and frame rate on some cameras that support it. So yeah, we're hoping that although the hardware is just kind of now getting out there, we're hoping that the firmware is going to continue to...
How does the firmware update work? So you need to connect the USB and... over Wi-Fi?
It connects over Wi-Fi as opposed to some of our other systems that require a laptop.
And it has an app or something, or
it does not have an app. So everything is just controlled through this unit itself. It is possible there might be some expanded options.
Actually, that can be cool, because if you have an app, maybe you can control, like, some of the things from, like, at least the camera control aspect of it.
Yeah, or for simple moves.
Yeah.
It might be easier than using two of these at the same time.
Yeah.
There's no official word.
Yeah.
It is
just an idea. Yeah. Okay.
It is.
So again, the bottom line is these will cost, like, the basic kit for one is $300 or...
No.
And they're available now, and this hopefully later this year, the handles.
Exactly. The pricing for the motors is going to be very similar to our previous Nano prices, so probably in between 100, 200 per motor, possibly a little bit less. And then control handles somewhere between 200, 300. I'm sure we'll make a kit similar to what you're seeing here for maybe like the 800 range. So still very affordable. But in a lot of ways, this is it's still our smallest, most powerful system to date. And it's showcasing a lot of new technology that we hope to utilize for future systems.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick.
Of course.
Stay tuned for more videos from IBC. We'll see you in the next one.